I mean, once that opens, everything else starts to just become stuff you play with. You're just playing with a substance, including your own body and your own melodrama. Each of you has a melodrama, don't you? Really mellow, right? You've got a plan of who you are and where you're going and what your future holds. And every moment you're reciting who you are and you're getting everybody around you to reinforce the model you have of who you must be. If you're a good guy, you surround yourself with people who say, he's a really good guy. Right? If you're a sexy girl, you got everybody saying, she's sexy. Wow. Just send out the vibes. Know me, know me, know me, know me. This is who I am, this is who I am, this is who I am, this is who I am. When the transformation has occurred and you're not busy being anybody, then the only thing that's coming through is God. Then just like a river or a tree, you are a perfect statement of the Dharma, of the flow. And then you never are out of the flow of the universe again. As you begin to open and explore this journey, you take the tantric technique is to take the stuff of your daily life and start to offer it up. What you do is you begin to, quote, consecrate your life. Instead of God being some kind of an abstraction that you deal with in Sundays or that was connected with your parents or, well, I don't know, it's something nice. You begin to recognize your true identity just a little bit, just enough so that everything you're doing, you don't have to change a step in the dance. You don't have to drop out. You don't have to go to a cave. You don't have to wear clothes or shave your head or wear funny clothes or do anything. The process can changes in your being, not in your doing. And as your being changes, your doing will change, but it will change very subtly. So that you might drive the same bus yesterday that you drive tomorrow, but tomorrow when you drive the bus, everybody that gets on the bus gets a certain vibrational space created by your being that allows them to touch a place in them that's just a little deeper. It's interesting about the word love. See, a lot of you deal with, am I in love with her, am I in love with him? We used to be in love, but now we're not. And love, the concept of love. There's a way of looking at love to understand it a little better. When you say, I am in love with him or I am in love with her, one of the ways of understanding it is that that other person is a stimulus that awakens in you a place where you are loved. Because when you are around your beloved, the whole world starts to look different. There's a certain luminous quality that takes over in the universe when you're really in love. And you connect it to the person, and you get hooked on the person. Because that person is your connection, in the same way that a junkie has a heroin connection. It's your connection to the place in you where you are loved, because you don't know how to get there other than through that connection. And when two people are in love with each other, they are each other's connections into the place in themselves where they are loved. As you divest yourself of being attached to your intellectual, social, physical identities, that doesn't mean you kill yourself or have no personality. You don't change those at all. You just change your attachment to them. Not your involvement, but your attachment. As you get freer of them, so you see them as patterns and forms, more and more do you enter into the space within yourself that is love. At that point, it is no longer connected with needfulness in the sense of, I need a connection to the love, because you are love. And at that point, you start to experience that you are in love not only with the person you're supposed to be in love with, but with everybody else as well. Which at first, since you are used to, when you feel this intensity of love, doing something very dramatic about it, it leads to a tremendous number of social complications. Okay. I mean, you get on the bus, see, and you're walking down the bus, and you've already got a whole social scene, and you just carry your groceries home, and you look on the seat, and there's somebody sitting there, and they look in your eyes, and for one moment, because of this place, you connect with them in the place of love, and you are suddenly drunkenly in love. And to go to the point where you can be drunkenly in love and walk right by without missing a step, without even saying hello, let alone, I want to marry you, or let's have dinner, or, you don't have to do anything about it. You just begin to be in love with the universe. And you find that when you are in that love, then everything that brings you away from it, which are only your own attachments, become very visible and noticeable, and you keep offering them up to the mother. So you're loving everybody until somebody does something you don't approve of, and you judge them. And immediately the whole thing turns off, and you've gone out of the flow, and you don't feel the love. And then you say, there I was judging me. Here, Ma, you take the judgment. You can have the opinions and judgments around, available if you need them. If somebody comes up and says, what do you think of Vietnam? You can have one ready. But you don't have to sit around being, I'm somebody who thinks this about Vietnam. You don't have to say it as you're going to bed at night. You're brushing your teeth, and this is what I think about that, and this is what I think about that. And they're available if you needed them, but you don't have to spend all your time worrying about them. I mean, your intellect is an exquisite servant, tool, device to know God. But don't let it rule your whole ship. Your heart is an incredible mechanism for caring about all of mankind, and womankind, and childkind, and all sentient beings. But without truth, it runs rampant, and it destroys as much as it helps. And when you have tuned to the place in you where you are love, then everywhere you go, you're just like a light that goes around, just sending out yourself, keeps helping you aim and redirect. And as you learn how to do it, every time you start to come down, the things that bring you down are your own clingings, fears, unworthiness, self-pity, stuff like that. And you just start to, here, Mama, you take it. Here, on this, you take it. You take my stuff. I don't need it anymore. And everything that interferes with your tuning to God within yourself, you just start to let it go. No big deal about it. You just start to let it go. If you got somebody you're really angry at, you take a picture of them. I have a little puja table, a table of Christ and all the beings that I worship and love and hang out with, my buddies, girls and boys at my school. Christ and Ananda my Ma, and, so. And I'll put a picture of somebody that really I'm having a hard time with, right in the middle of them. I'll worship it. I'll look at it and I'll get all this, and then I slowly just keep letting it go, and letting it go, and letting it go, until I can look through the stuff that caught me again and see another being in there who's just waiting for me not to get caught in their stuff. See, every one of us has this stuff that we're sucking everybody into around us, and we're just hoping desperately that somebody will come along that will not get stuck in it. But the thing is, we're really masters at the game of seduction. And we keep seducing people into thinking we are who we think we are, when all we wanted was one person who says, look, that's just who you think you are. You're not going to suck me into that one. And the quality of the guru, the quality of the free teacher, is that they are like a pure mirror. And when you look at them, you only see your own stuff. Because they don't have any stuff. Because the only reason somebody else gets sucked in by your stuff is because there's something they want. See, like people that are very wealthy, for example, have built a whole paranoia around their wealth. Everybody wants me for my money, like a father with his kids. And the fact is that they send out a vibration, and the people that gather around them, in fact, are busy reacting to money. And so they are, in effect, everybody's fulfilling everybody's expectations. But once I was with my guru, and he was lying on his wooden table, and at that moment, Indira Gandhi, the head of India, went by with her Cadillacs and generals and all that production. Here's my guru, who has a blanket and a loincloth and a water jug, and he's lying on a wooden table, and we're both in bliss. And he looks over at this whole business and he says to me, look at all that. And it's just a worldly king. Like, it's no big deal. It's just a king on this plane. And then, as if to deal with my power trippingness, he said, there was a a king that asked two fakirs, two holy men with powers, to come before him, and they refused to come. And they said to him, when you can get an ant and an elephant to come and bow down to you, and sing to you, we'll come. Because they could do it. So they had these other powers. And so the king came and bowed down to them. But all powers are still just trippy stuff. But after that, when I would look at people like Richard Nixon, I would just see like tin soldiers. I'd see people caught completely in the web of power. My fear was gone and my desire was gone. I didn't even want the stuff. And the true king is the king who is not attached to his power. That's the one that becomes the great statesman. See, we have so lost our connection to who we are, to the flow, to the harmony, that everything seems weird. Even getting it isn't quite right, what you get in stuff in life. And the only way you're going to feel at home ever again in this universe is when your soul acknowledges its true identity.